Good morning, boys and girls. It's the 19th of May today. Now you're going to open the Sharing Tickets project, and this is on page 83 of chapter 4 of your textbook. You're all in chapter 4. And now the story is about three friends who got to share tickets for a concert in the following way. A certain number of tickets are being given, and the rules are that Avika will receive twice as much as Zany. So Mike will receive 3 times as much as Zany. And we've got to go and calculate how much each of them will receive. So this is a bit of an algebra problem, a ratio problem, but it's not so difficult as what you think. If Avika will receive 2 times as much as Zany, so you go and write it out, A equals 2 times Z. I'm just going to assume that the number of tickets is 12. A is 2 times Z. Mike, M for Mike is 3 times Z. So then I type M equals 3 times Z. If I add all this up, A plus M plus Z, all of them together is going to equal 12, the number of tickets that we have. So instead of A, I'll write in 2Z. Instead of M, I write 3Z, and Z stays as it is. And then if you solve for Z using algebra, you get 6Z equals 12, so Z equals 2. And now all you have to do is go and multiply. If Zane is 2, then A will be equal to 4, and Michael will have 6. Zane is going to have 2 tickets. Hey, simple here. Well, you'd think it's what you often, these are little tricks. It's all mathematical tricks that you have to figure out. So we know that Z will be so much and so on. Now, how do we convert that to programming code? So of course I'm going to use variables A, M, and Z, okay, and I will do a mathematical calculation just as I'm doing it here, and then we will see what happens. Right, so in my button click event I'm going to make some variables. var I, A, M, and Z, colon integer, and we don't have to worry about the fact that there will be real numbers, no, although when we divide we might have to, but we'll talk about that just now. So we get an integer, 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 number of tickets, but the input is inum. So let's go and get inum from our edit box, and we know we're not ever going to get half a ticket. EDT tot tickets dot text, but of course that must be converted to an integer string to int, and away we go. Now if I go and RZ is not being given any value, so I can't say A equals 2Z, M equals 2Z, so I've got to say 12 equals, well, we've got to divide our number of tickets by 6. Not so. We have to divide our 12 by 6 to get the number of tickets that Zane has. We don't know what the number is. This could be any number. So inum, so 6Z will be equal to inum, won't it? And inum, and then Z will be equal to inum divided by 6. Divided by 6. That's what Z will be. And then we can go and say A is 2Z, and so on. Then I can go ahead, oops, so that's not it. So if inum is equal to 6, then I can say A equals 2Z and M equals 3Z. Okay, so we don't know what inum is. Okay, this is the example of 12. But if I put r num instead of the 12 there, I get z equals r num divided by 6. And that's how we're going to play it. We're going to say rz equals r num divided by 6. And then we can say what RA is. RA equals 2z and RM equals 3z. So I'm going to say RA equals 2 times RZ and RM equals 3 times RZ. And there's our numbers. RZ, RA and RM. Done. But of course, we are dividing by 6. And we will possibly have decimal point numbers. So we might have to do a div instead of division. Instead of divided sign. Because there aren't going to be any half tickets. Nope. So we'll say R num div 6. And if there's any leftovers, yeah. So that should be interesting. Obviously, if there's 12 tickets, that's an easy one to solve, you know. But that div will give you the whole number and what the remainder is after dividing by 6. Interesting, hey? Let's see how it pans out, and we'll put in a random number of tickets. Oh, but first of all, our display. Well, this is our processing. That's the processing. Now we're going to do the output. That was the input. This is processing, and now we're going to do the output, which is our display, into our rich edit. I know this will work with our number 12. No. So Zain share, Avika share, Mika share, total tickets. So we've got to go and put that all into a rich edit. Already display dot lines dot add, and of course we're going to do the same as we did before, building strings total tickets colon, should we use the #9 one or total tickets? Yep, plus #9. Let's use #9 because we haven't used that before for a while here. And then total tickets will be into string rnum. Okay. So that's that one. And then we are going to do another display for Zane's. Who's first? Okay. Zany tickets. Now look at, I've got an apostrophe S there. And you see what happens? Because these are single quotes, guess what I have to do? I have to put 2 apostrophes to get an apostrophe S there, and then it's fine. So I'm going to use RZ here, and then I'm going to copy and paste that. And Avika's, I think it's Avika's tickets. Avika, yes, and Mika. It's not Mike. Oh, it is Mike's. It is Mike. Could be Mika, but it's Mike's. MIA. Okay, take note how to change that. And then I'm going to do the next one. And Mike. Take note of the 2 apostrophes, 2 inverted commas to get an apostrophe, and IM. Now that should be interesting. Hey, we used div, we didn't divide. We could do a mod. We could have rounded. I suppose rounding is probably a better idea, hey. But actually trunking would have been better. So let's trunk it rather. Let's divide by 6 and trunk any decimal places that are there. Trunk. Because we cannot divide up half tickets. So we divide rnum by 6 and trunk it to get the whole number. Any fraction of a ticket that might be hanging around, well, let's go See how that works. Right. Ugh. Trunk. But trunk, it works. I wonder if we have to use math up here. Math. Right, see, I put math in my users section. See, that's going to help my trunk function. Okay, I must be using the wrong name. Trunk I_num divided by 6. Alright. Okay, I must be spelling something wrong. Sorry about that, folks. So we go all the way up to our section over here. It's 4.2. Trunk with a C. Wonder. Sorry, folks. I fail. Right, so spelling is important. Okay, we have another one. Okay, let's see. REDO. You see, now this is why it's not a good idea to copy and paste, because sometimes you might spell something wrong and then you've got to go fix it everywhere. Display, and I'm sure you guys noticed that I'd spelt this wrong here, but I'm so busy concentrating what I'm saying, I'm not even looking at what I'm doing. Alright, let's go put in a random number. Let's make it 23 and see what happens. 18. Nah, see, now that's not okay, because you see, we took the 23 divided by 6, and what did we get? Look, cosine divided by 6, that does not work. 23 divided by 6, 3 6s are 18. See, we'll have 5 tickets left over, which we don't want to lose, you know what I mean? So, but if we had to put in the number 12, okay, let's put in the number 12 like they had, and then we're good. I mean, then it works perfectly fine. So we have to think of another way of solving this. Because if you divide by 6, 6, what did I have? The number that I had before was 23, hey? Because 3 7s are 21, so 6, sorry, no, not bad. So if it was 23, we said Zane, it's 3, 18, 9, 21, and 2. There were 5 tickets that were not handed out. So that is not right. And if I divide by 6 over here, obviously I'm going to have an issue, because our Zane cannot have, I could round it. And then what will happen is that we will have a completely different number. Which actually will be better. Hey. Yeah, that looks better, because 4 times 2 is 8 and 4 times 3 is 12, and there'll be 1 ticket spare. So actually rounding it was a much better idea. Oh wait, no, there are 1 too many, because that's 24, isn't it? So we don't actually want to round it, we do want to trunk it. Trunk definitely works, but of course those decimal points add for something. We don't actually want to round it. What is 23 divided by 6? The best thing is to go to the math, and we go and do what our math says. 23 divided by 6 equals, let's go and see, it's 3.8. See, because it's a very, very large number. 0.8 is quite a big number. So this only works if you can getting an even number of tickets. Right, so that's basically a challenge that we can think about solving. Maybe not at your level, but I'm sure some of you guys will be able to solve it, and that should be fun for you. If I put in 24, I mean that's an even number, you know, so there you have it. If you put in an even number, then you're good to go, basically. Maybe not. Let's have a look. 6, so that is 36, so that's also a bit of a thing. Anyway, so I'm going to I'll tell you what I want to do. I'm going to look at the memo for this from the memo files. Oops. File open, if there are any. It's intermediate calculator. Eh? Oh, I don't have my memo files here. I do not think I do. Actually, I should have it. Yeah, I've got those grade 10 textbooks. Oh, there we go. Sorry it took so long. Chapter 4. What is it? I don't even remember now what it's called. Sharing tickets, yeah. Sharing tickets. I'm just going to open the PAS. Now I'm opening 2 Delphi programs. I'm open the PAS file. Let's see what they did. They used the div. So they actually haven't got a solution either, because when you use div, you still get, like, if you have 23, you'll have 5 tickets that are sitting spare. So I guess that's not going to solve the problem, but they did exactly what I thought. But anyway, just remember that if you open 2 Delphi units, better close the one that you don't want to save before you go and save your work. I mean, it is possible to go file and then open a .pas file, you know, on top of your other program, but you better make sure that you close it before you go and save your whole program, because otherwise it's messy. You won't find anything. Everything's going to be, and definitely do not open 2 Delphi programs. I'm just going to save this, save all. If I had to go and open another Delphi program on top of this one, those of you who maybe have done this already, okay, so I'm going to open another dproj file. Guys, it's going to mess you around, so don't do it, because now where's the other one, you know? So just, you open Delphi and close Delphi in between each program. Okay, sorry for that. That was quite fun, and I hope you can try that by yourself, and see you another time.